Reading Legends. Let me ask you a question. What's wrong with human beings today? It's about this statement that I want to talk with you. We live today in a fortunate age. This is an age that humanity has looked forward to, dreamt of, and worked toward for thousands of years. We live in the richest age that ever existed on the face of this planet. An age of abundant opportunity for everyone you see. However, since it's here, we take everything around us for granted. Here are some statistics that I stumbled onto. If you take 100 individuals who start even at the age of 25, do you have any idea what will happen to those individuals by the time they are 65? Those 100 individuals believe they are going to be successful. They are eager toward life. There is a definite light in their eyes, no stopping their excitement, and life seems like a pretty fascinating journey to them. But by the time they're 65, only 1 will be rich, 4 will be financially independent, 5 will still be working, and 54 will be broke or depending on others for life necessities. Only 5 out of 100 conquer their mark. Why do you think so many give up? What has happened to the light that was there when they were 25? The fascinating journey. What has become of these dreams, these hopes, these plans, and why is there such a large gap between what these people envisioned to do and what they actually realized? First of all, we have to find out what success actually means. Here's the best definition I've been able to find. Success is the enhanced discovery of a worthy idea. If an individual is working toward a present goal and he knows where he's going, this man is a success. If he's not doing that, then he's a failure. Success is the entrepreneur who wants to start his own company and hustling so hard because that was his dream. A success is a woman who wants to become a mother and wants to be the greatest mother ever lived. A success is a little boy who wants to become a pilot because that was his dream, ambition, and that is what he wanted to do for the rest of his life. A success is anyone who's realizing and enhancing his worthy, predetermined idea because that is what he or she decided to do intentionally. But only 1 out of 100 does that. A book by the title Influence by Dr. Robert Cialdini discusses the idea of how and why people agree to things despite not liking it. Mostly for the simple reason that we conform. People acting like everyone else without knowing why, how, or where they're going. Think of this. In Canada right now, there is almost 6.2 million people aged 65 and older, and most of them are broke. They are dependent on someone else for their life's necessities. We learn to read by the time we're 5. We learn to make a living by the time we're 25. Often by that time, we're not only making a living, we're supporting a family. And yet by the time we're 65, we haven't learned how to be financially independent in one of the most prosperous countries in the world. Why do we conform? Why most of us are acting like the wrong 95% group of individuals who don't succeed? Why so many people conform? These individuals believe that their lives are shaped by circumstances, by things that happen to them, by exterior powers. A survey was done one time that covered a lot of working individuals, and these individuals were asked, why do you work? Why do you wake up in the morning? 9 out of 10 had no idea. And if you ask them, they will tell you that everyone goes to work in the morning, and that is the reason why they do it, because everyone else is doing it. For 13 years, I wondered about that secret key. I was looking for it for a long time. I looked for a key which would explain what would happen to a human being when he discovers that key. I asked myself, was there actually a key that exists that would make the promised future we all imagined? Was there actually a key that will guarantee a person's becoming successful if he knew about it, and most importantly, know how to use it? Well, the truth is, this secret key actually exists. Have you ever wondered why so many people work so hard and honestly without achieving anything in particular, and why other folks don't seem to work hard yet seem to get everything? They seem to have that magic touch. You've heard people say everything he touches turns to gold, or he was born with a golden spoon in his mouth, etc., etc. Have you ever noticed a person who becomes successful tends to continue becoming successful? And on the other hand, have you noticed how someone who's a failure tends to continue to fail? The difference is that what directions and goal they are aiming at. Individuals with clear direction succeed because they know where they're going. It's that simple. Failures, on the other hand, believe that their life and what happened in it is shaped by circumstances, by things and events that happen to them, by some weird outside forces that they don't have control of. For instance, think of one of those big ships in the ocean. It has a complete voyage planned out in advance. The captain and the crew know exactly where the ship is going and how long a voyage will take. It has a direct, absolute, definite goal, and 99% of the time it will get to where it's directed. Now, imagine another ship, exactly like the first one, but the only difference is that it doesn't have a captain or any type of crew aboard. There's no direction or aiming point, and there's no destination. We just have to start the engine and let it move. I believe you will agree with me that it's lucky if it gets out of the harbor at all. I believe it will either sink or wind up on some deserted island somewhere. It cannot go anywhere because it has no destination, no direction, and no guidance. It's the same with the human beings, but the human race and society as a whole are programmed not to protect the strong from winning, but to protect and to prevent the weak from losing. Nowadays, society can be linked to a country's army in the time of war. The entire society is slowed down to protect the weakest link, just like the army has to go at the speed that will allow its slowest soldiers to remain into formation. What is the reason? This is the reason why it's very easy to make a living nowadays. It takes no smart brains or special talent to support a family or make a life today. We have reached some kind of a ceiling of so-called security. Job security, life security, and living security to succeed. All we have to decide is how high above that ceiling we want to reach and grab. Throughout history, the great wise men and teachers, educators, philosophers, millionaires, and billionaires have disagreed with each other. It's only on that one point they are in complete and unanimous agreement. And that is the key of success and the key of failure. And that is, we become what we think about. This is the greatest secret ever told. Why do I say it's the greatest secret? Actually, it isn't a secret at all. It appeared throughout history again and again. We see it on all these online quotes that you see every day on the internet. But a few number of individuals have actually learned it and understood it. That is why I call it the greatest secret ever told. And for some weird reason, it virtually remains hidden. Socrates, one of the few individuals who shaped the culture and intellectual development of the human understanding and the world, said, "Your mind is your predicament. It wants to be free of change, free of pain, free of obligation, of life and death. But change is law, and no amount of pretending will alter that reality." Buddha said, "We are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. When the mind is pure, joy follows." Brian Tracy said, "You are a living magnet. What you attract into your life is harmony with your dominant thoughts." Margaret Thatcher said, "Watch your thoughts, for they become words. Watch your words, for they become actions. Watch your actions, for they become habits. Watch your habits, for they become your character. Watch your character, for they become destiny. What we think, we become." William James said, "The greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitude of mind." He also said, "If you only care enough for a result, you will almost certainly attain it. If you wish to be rich, you will be rich. If you wish to be educated, you will be educated. If you wish to be good, you will be good. Only you must then really wish these things and wish them exclusively, not wish for the same time a million other things. My friend Dr. Glenn Theodore puts it this way: positivity breeds more positivity. Negativity breeds more negativity. Once you replace negative thoughts with the positive ones, you will start having positive results. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "He who is not every day conquering some fear has not learned the secret of life." He also said, "Fear defeats more people than any other one thing in the world." I cannot forget what George Bernard Shaw said. People are always blaming their circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on this world are the people who get up and look for the circumstances they want to have, and if they can't find them, make them. Well, it's very clear, isn't it? An individual who is thinking about the concrete and worthwhile goal is going to attain it, because that's what he's thinking about. On the contrary, the individual who has no goals, who doesn't know where he's going, and whose thoughts must therefore be thoughts of confusion, anxiety, fear, and lots of worries, will thereby create a life of frustration, fear, anxiety, and lots of worries. And if he thinks about nothing, he becomes nothing. Thus, how does it work? Why do we become what we think about? I will explain it to you, how it works. But before I do explain, I would like to tell you about a situation that works similar to the human mind. The human mind is much like a farmer's land, okay? The land allows the farmer a choice. He may plant in that land whatever he chooses. The land doesn't care what he's planted. The decision belongs to the farmer. Remember, we're comparing the human mind with the land, because the land works similarly to the mind. It doesn't care what you plant in it. It will return what you plant, but it doesn't care what you plant. The farmer plants two seeds. One seed is sweet peas, and the other seed is poison hemlock, a deadly poisonous plant. He waters and takes care of the land and takes care of both seeds. What will happen? Remember, the land doesn't care. It will return poison as wonderful fistful as the sweet peas. So up comes the two plants, one sweet peas and one poison. Whatever you make in life, it will return upon you. The human mind is far more complicated, more incredible, and more mysterious than the land did. But it works the same way. It doesn't care what you plant, success or failure, a genuine, factual, worthwhile goal or destruction, misunderstanding, fear, anxiety, and so on. Thus, what we plant must be returned to us. Some people will say, if that's true, why the population don't use their mind often then? Well, let me explain. The issue here is that our mind comes with a standard equipment at birth. It's free, and things that are given to us for nothing, we place it in a little tiny value box. The things we pay money for, we place it in the high value box. The riddle is that's exactly the contrary is true. Everything that is really valuable in life comes to us for free, such as our minds, our souls, our bodies, common sense, trust, class, integrity, hopes, dreams, ambitions, intelligence, love of life, love of family and children and country. All of these valuable possessions are free, but the things that cost us money are actually very cheap and can break or be replaced at any time. A rich man can completely lose his riches, companies, and his net worth and come back and make another fortune. He can do that many times if he wants to. I believe we heard about that all the time throughout our century. Even if we have tremendous disasters, our home are gone and our lands are destroyed, we can rebuild them. We can rebuild all of them, but the things we got for nothing, we can never replace. Our minds can do any kind of a job we delegate to it, but generally speaking, we use it for the tiny jobs instead of the huge ones. So decide now, what is it you want? Do you want to be the best employee in your organization? Do you want to reach higher level in your community or school? Do you want to get rich? All you have to do is plant that seed in your mind, the right one actually. Care for it, water it, and develop it. It's the most important decision that you will ever make in your entire life. Work steadily toward your goal and it will become a reality. Lots of individuals I know compare themselves to others and hate so much. I believe that if they can turn all that hate and focus on a goal and some type of work, they would be in different places right now and attain what they wish to attain. You see, this is the law, like the law of Sir Isaac Newton, the third law, law of gravity. If you get up on the structure, if you get up on top of the structure, on top of any structure and jump off, you will fall. You will always go down. You will never go up. It's the same with the other laws of nature. They always work. Take a moment and think about your goal in a relaxed, positive way. Imagine yourself in your mind as having already reached that goal. See yourself doing the things you imagine after having reached that goal. Every one of us is a total sum of his own thoughts. We are what we are because that is exactly where we want or feel we deserve to be, whether we'll declare that out loud or not. Each one of us must live off the fruits of his own thoughts, because what we think today, tomorrow, next month, or next year will shape our lives and conclude our future. You're directed by your mind. I remember one time I was sitting on my porch in the western area of Montreal and I saw one of those supersized jumbo jet Boeing 747 flying on top with what looked like the whole planet is moving on top of me, shaking the houses and the earth down bottom. A tremendous, incredible, huge machine, and there was a pilot settled way up flying that, guiding that. As I'm wondering about it, about this tremendous invention, I couldn't ignore the idea running in my mind when I just remembered the resemblance of that supersized machine and the human mind. Imagine you're sitting in front of like all these controls of such a vast source of energy. Are you going to relax and fold your arms and let it fly itself into a mountain? Or are you going to keep both hands tight on the wheel and lead, control, direct this massive power to a specific worthy purpose? You're the captain and the controller of that massive machine. You're in the driver's seat. The very law that gives us success is a double-edged knife. We must strongly control our thinking, the same rule that can target people to wonderful lives and prosperous living, success, wealth, happiness, and all the things we ever dreamt of. That is the very same law that can lead us into the trench. It is all how they use it, for good or for bad. That is the greatest secret ever told. Do what the professionals, educators, thinkers, since the dawn of recording history have told us to do. Pay the price by becoming the person you want to become. It is not that difficult as people think it is to be. The moment you decide on a goal to target, you immediately placed yourself into that successful people division. You are then in that rare group of people who know where they're going. Remember that stats I mentioned earlier? Out of every 100 people, you belong to the top 5. Don't concern yourself too much with how you're going to achieve and reach your goal. Leave that completely to a power greater than yourself. All you have to do is know where you're going, create, invent, build, and take care of your family. The answer will come to you on their own accord and in the right time. Start now. You have nothing to lose and you have your whole life to win. Here is some homework to let you start thinking about the idea of the greatest secret. Remember, you have to complete this section homework to be able to continue smoothly throughout the next few sections. They are all connected together. So here we go. Imagine you are on a vacation and you do have all the money that ever dreamt of and you have no worries whatsoever from that thing called life. What would be your perfect day? What your perfect day will look like? Describe it to me in the discussion board in the bottom and explain it thoroughly. Here's some questions that can help you with this exercise. What is your perfect day? How would you wake up? What would you eat or drink? how would you go through your day? Like, what would you do throughout the day? From the time you wake up until the time you go to bed. Remember, you have to make it perfect. What would your day have to be called perfect?